There is a moment right before you speak, right before you agree, right before you decide something makes sense. Most people don't notice it. They move through it too quickly. But it's there. A space where questions form and disappear, where something doesn't feel right, but gets ignored anyway. Not because it isn't there, but because it's easier not to stay with it. That space, that hesitation, that quiet second between thought and acceptance, that's where we are. Welcome to the quiet room. Some things aren't hidden, they're just not acknowledged. This is Most People Agree. Part 1, The Fine Print. Nobody could say they weren't warned. That was the worst part. It wasn't hidden in the fine print, not the kind at the bottom of a page, not something buried where no one would think to look. If anything, it was everywhere, in patterns people brushed off, in moments that didn't quite add up, in that quiet, persistent feeling that something wasn't right, even when everyone insisted it was. Some people noticed, not all at once, not together, but enough. They tried to explain it, turning something they didn't fully understand into words they hoped someone else might recognize. Warnings. But they weren't clean. They weren't precise. They came out fractured, emotional, sometimes contradictory. Because how do you translate something that was never written in a language to begin with? Still, they tried. They raised their voices, repeated themselves, refined it, simplified it, shouted it when no one else listened the first time. And for a while, it spread. Not as truth, but as noise. Something to debate. Something to mock. Something to reduce. Until no one had to take it seriously. Because it didn't sound right. Because it didn't feel right. Because it couldn't be proven in a way that the world agreed counted as proof. So it was dismissed. Not because it wasn't real, but because it wasn't complete. And over time, the people trying to explain it stopped being heard and started being remembered as the problem. It wasn't hidden, it wasn't subtle, it was just ignored. Next time, we follow someone who couldn't ignore it.